Good morning, everyone. Okay, drop a thumbs up emoji if you think your child has a pretty solid foundation of felt safety. And then drop a thumbs down emoji if you think your child is lacking felt safety. If we haven't met, my name is Melissa Corkum. I'm a post-adoption support specialist and creator of the Real Life Behavior Plan System, bringing you brain-based solutions to challenging behaviors so that you can laugh more and yell less. You can find more information about the work that I do with families and how I support you at thecorkboardonline.com. I also co-host the Adoption Connection podcast. And if you happen to be watching the replay of this video on Instagram TV or YouTube, and you have a question that you would like me to answer on one of these Monday lives, or you just would need more support as a parent parenting a child with challenging behaviors, then I invite you to join us in our free Facebook community. You can find that at thecorkboardonline.com/Facebook. So a lot of times when I'm working with parents and we get to the topic of felt safety, they'll say, "Oh, I'm pretty sure my child feels safe," or "My child never says they don't feel safe." So the tricky thing about felt safety is that it's measured in our subconscious by the polyvagal nerve, and this is what we call neuroception. And so we have to learn how to really be a behavior detective, tune in to our child's behavior so that we can get a feel for what their neuroception is subconsciously telling the rest of their nervous system. Because a lot of times our kids don't realize that their nervous system is telling them they don't feel safe. The other thing to know about felt safety and neuroception is that it's a sense that's being measured millions of times a minute. So it can change often. So when you think about the signs that your child may not feel safe that I'm about to share with you, I want you to think about the big picture. A couple things here and there, that's normal. We all struggle sometimes. We all have the sense that, we need to be on high alert, that we might not be safe. But when you look at these things and think about the consistency that they may be happening for your child, or if they're impacting your child's daily life, where they're so prevalent that they're impacting the other things that they need to be successful, that's when we can kind of get this feeling that our child kind of chronically lives in a state of fear, really. Okay, so for signs that your child really might be struggling with felt safety. And so they kind of look like different things. The first one is social struggles. A lot of our kids with a shaky foundation of felt safety struggle in social situations. They may have trouble making or keeping friends, interacting appropriately with same age peers, and giving and receiving appropriate social cues, right? So have you ever said something to your child that was pretty neutral and they're like, "Why are you mad at me?" Right? Or they are convinced that none of the kids like them at school, which probably isn't, the full reality. The second thing that a lot of our kids struggle with who have this lack of foundation of felt safety is giving and receiving care. And actually, this is something that even adults, I find, have a lot of trouble with, right? We often praise independence in our culture. But part of healthy attachment and a strong foundation of felt safety is giving and receiving care. So we actually want to develop a healthy level of interdependence. We want our kids to accept comfort from us, not just figure it out on their own. We want them to accept help from us, even if they actually don't need it. And we want them to be able to graciously receive compliments. I know a lot of times kids that are struggling with felt safety, you'll say something like, um, you know, you did such a good job, or you're a really smart girl, or you're really funny, and they'll say, "No, I'm not," or something like that. Thirdly, our kids who lack felt safety will struggle with empathy, and I hear about this one a lot because it worries us when our kids don't show empathy, right? Our brains run in fear in 100 different directions. But when our kids don't have that foundation of felt safety, they're in survival mode, which means they're also egocentric. I mean, after all, how can you guarantee your survival if you're focused on others? And so that egocentricity means kids will have trouble noticing how their behavior is affecting others. They'll struggle to accept responsibility or apologize for their actions. They don't really understand, right? Um, that that sense of otherness, thinking about how other people are experiencing them because they're focused on survival. And then lastly, low self-esteem. How many of our kids struggle with, you know, I hate myself. I wish I'd never been born. I'm not any good at this. Everyone else is better than me. Self-esteem and autonomy, right? Our sense of self, um, even being independent, having our own autonomous opinions, right? Not going with the crowd, not being, we like that. If all your friends jumped off a bridge, would you too? That self-esteem and autonomy are pretty high forms of self-actualization, and they can't happen from their survival and downstairs brain. So this lack of felt safety strips our kids of kind of their okayness with themselves. And so when we realize just how much felt safety affects self-esteem, we can be more effective at helping our kids from the bottom up, from a foundational level that will be more effective than just trying to convince them that they are fabulous and um, that they're more fabulous than they're giving themselves credit for. It can be more powerful than just giving them some self affirmations to repeat. So, speaking of self esteem, because I know this is a really hot topic, the International Parent Summit Series is going live again this weekend, the 15th and the 16th, with a set of talks about helping our kids develop self esteem. So, I'll be speaking on specifically how to build a foundation of felt safety that I've been referencing in our kids, especially those who are adopted or have early childhood trauma. You can sign up for free for the summit. It's live for the weekend. So as long as you can catch it this weekend, it's 100% free. You can sign up at thecorkboardonline.com/summit. So again, this link right here. If you happen to be on um, Instagram specifically, because I can't leave a clickable link in the description of the video, go ahead and drop me a comment that says, invite me. And I will send you this link to your DMs so you can just click on it and register. There is an option to buy an all access pass if you aren't going to be around this weekend and you'd still like to have access. When you get that all access pass, you do get access to all the past summit topics from the last couple months, and I think the future ones as well. I'm specifically addressing all the topics from an adoption and trauma informed perspective. We've already covered things like how to talk to your child about their story, um, and some other great ones. So I hope to see you this weekend at thecorkboardonline.com/summit. Until next time, remember, you are a good parent and you're doing good work. I'll see you soon.